దాని ఇవాల్వ్డ్ వెర్షన్ ఏమన్నా వచ్చిందా?
Ayn Rand.
అంటే ఆబ్జెక్టివిజంకి, రామోయిజం ఆఫ్ కోర్స్.
No. Ramism like is all over the place. It's like a fun philosophy.
It works.
Ramism is fun philosophy. Sardaga.
Does it work?
Yeah.
సరదాగా అంతే.
అన్ని సీరియస్ ఫిలాసఫీలు చదివి I decided to get a సరదా philosophy.
మీ ఫిలాసఫీ, హౌ కెన్ రామోయిజం బి సరదా ఫిలాసఫీ? ద ఫిలాసఫీ ఈజ్ సీరియస్. యూ మే ఎంప్లాయ్ సరదా మీన్స్ టు రీచ్ యువర్ గోల్.
Yeah, whatever. See, the point is, I am not being ఇప్పుడు చాలా మంది either they are serious or they are very concerned or they are very
deliberate,
deliberate. నేను అది ఇంటర్నెట్ లేకపోతే పోండి అన్నదంతా చెప్తున్నాను. బికాజ్ I that is almost my self defense mechanism, because if I take my listeners as seriously as Ayn Rand, I will go mad.
Yes.
ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి అర్థం అవ్వకపోతే Ayn Randకి షాక్ అవుతుంది, షాక్ తింటుంది. అర్థం చేసుకుంటే నేను షాక్ అవుతాను. అర్థం నిజంగా. But like I'm repeating myself, I said, when I said what sense of life, అంటే ఒక గుండెంతా ఒక బరువు నిండిపోయింది నాకు అసలు. అంటే I just experience her life, and it's a very very well made documentary from the time she started to where she reached. So ఏమవుతుందంటే it gives you that you almost traveled through her life.
Was it after obviously after reading her book kada? Books you much later.
I saw documentary recently
Bombay annar kabatti. Yeah, okay, yeah, true. So you already had an association with her.
Yeah, her book I read when I was 18 years old.
అదే అంటే ఆవిడతో ఒక తెలియని అనుబంధం ఏర్పడిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆ డాక్యుమెంటరీ చూస్తే మీకు ఇంకా మనసుకు హత్తుకుంది.
Yeah, correct. Because see, her thoughts are always there, already there in my head. I mean, my head so full of me, but I saw the human being for the first time. The human being was responsible for those thoughts I saw for the first time in a sense of life. Yeah, that is the difference.
ఆవిడ కనుక తారసపడి మీకు జరగని పని, బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ ఎవర్ మెట్ హర్ ఇన్ రియాలిటీ, what would be the one thing you would want to say to her? Would you want to say anything to her?
I think ఇందాక చెప్పిన పోస్చర్ నేను నేల మీద కూర్చుని ఇలాగా ఒక చిన్న పిల్లోడు లాగా I want to sit like that in front of her. That's my dream.
Oh.
You know? She's a wonder of nature. I mean, absolutely, her kind of intelligence, I think it comes in a millennium. I mean, because I am a voracious reader. I read like mad ever since I was conscious. I read almost every fiction, every non-fiction, every thinker's book, but nothing anywhere near her. And she said, like Nietzsche, all these people, Schopenhauer, they use a language, they use a tonal quality which is almost like imperceptible to 90% of the people. అర్థం కూడా అవుతారు. Like for example, Daspek Zarathustra, which is the most popular book of Friedrich Nietzsche, I don't think anyone can have the capacity to read even 2 pages of that to understand. You know? But because he deliberately chose that kind of a language, like the Old Testament language of the Bible, you know, because he believed that the Nietzschean philosophy will take over Christianity, and he wanted to basically aim it for them, which is why he chose that kind of a language, you know. So now Ayn Rand wrote in prose and wrote in realistic situations, wrote with real characters, and she put a fictional body of Howard Rock, whose embodiment of the objectivist philosophy, you know, which is
completely
different. One is different, and one is it strikes you because నేను ఇలా మాడి ఉండొచ్చు కదా, నేను ఇలా చేసి ఉండొచ్చు కదా అనే ఒక దానితోటి యూ స్టార్ట్ లుకింగ్ అప్ టు హౌవర్డ్ రాక్.
It's actually very very interesting. అంటే with the number of isms and philosophies in the world, ఒకటి highly ఇలా objective and practical, pragmatic, capitalistic, ఇంకోటి చాలా we have a lot of esoteric, gentler, subtler philosophies which actually are very powerful in their own ways. We just tell you to be, the art of being అని చెప్పి, without doing much. Not doing, we are actually human doings now, but actually we are supposed to be human beings. And it's interesting to compare and see.
There is a certain description of Daspek Zarathustra, where this guy said, it's widely quoted, rarely read, and seldom understood. Everybody talks about it, and ఎవడు చదవడు, చదివినోడు అర్థం కాదు.
అదే అర్థం అప్లై చేసుకోడు.
But the point is, now I'll just give you a small passage from Nietzsche, Zarathustra. When Zarathustra was 30 years old, he went into the mountains and climbed up and spent 10 long years in a cave. However, one day he came out and stood before the rising sun and said thus, "O great star, what would be your happiness if you had not me, for whom you shine? You climbed unto my cave for 10 long years and were wearied of your journey if not for me. Like thee I must descend into the deep to give light unto the netherworld." And thus began Zarathustra's downgoing. Now this is like a very biblical Old Testament language. Indulo enti, what does he mean? What is the purpose of the sun if someone is not taking its light?
Correct.
And he is taking it upon himself. The sun is climbing for him, it's not for him. But if in his world, from his sensory perception, it's only him and the sun where he is. The sun might not have the objective, and it's not that he doesn't know it. But he's taking a philosophy. Now the sun is traveling all over, giving its light to every living being on the planet, around it. So like thee I must descend into the deep to give light unto the netherworld, you know. So these kind of, like he said, I say in one sentence what others say, others cannot say in whole books. But it's up to you to have the ability to understand that, you know. So there's a deliberate thing in trying to push your limit of understanding, which is not what Ayn Rand did, which is the reason it's simpler and it is catching you on where you are.
No nonsense.
She's not trying to pull you into her world. She's actually putting her character into your world. That is the basic
Brilliantly understood
difference. Yeah.
Ayn Rand.
Yes.
How did she die?
Of natural cause. Yeah. She just became.
But it's also very, very surprising, not surprising, it's quite a thing that she is still alive even now.
See, for me, I have this huge desire to go and see her grave in New York, you know, which I don't want to do with Sridevi, not with Bruce Lee, because for me they're more physical. Ayn Rand is a mind for me. You know, the fact, the thoughts which came, there's something related to this place, I find it, you know. Even if I see the exterior of her, where she used to live in an apartment building in New York before she died, you know, all those make a difference to me in my head somewhere. It's just the fact that those thoughts were there here. And obviously she as a woman had her own fantasies, like, you know, she wrote in every book that I trust no one tells me that characters that I write about do not exist. They exist, and one proof is my own husband, Frank O'Connor, which is not the truth. Frank O'Connor is a very, very ordinary guy, but she just couldn't take it that someone like her could marry an ordinary man.
How do you know this?
So, no, that was read in that was in the Barbara Brett's book.
It's a very, very interesting observation, chala, and makes sense.
Yeah, because see, I wouldn't have known about Frank O'Connor unless I read The Passion of Ayn Rand by Barbara Brennan. The whole family thing came through that book, you know.
అండ్ నేను ఇంత మామూలు వ్యక్తిని పెళ్లి చేసుకున్నాననే పాయింట్ ఇష్టం లేక ఆయన గ్లోరిఫై చేసుకున్నాడు.
Yeah. She kind of tried to make him a Howard Rock, which he was not. Which she also was not. The main point is that, you know, she also was not Howard Rock. Her ultimate desire of an objective of to see the most ideal man possible, so she created that character like a Superman of Howard Rock. Because when they made a film out of Fountainhead, it is such a bad film, not because of film. You don't want to see Howard Rock in real life. ఏం బట్టలు వేసుకుంటాడు, ఏం కాఫీ తాగుతాడు, నవ్వుతాడా, నవ్వడా, everything becomes a problem.
Larger than life.
Because an embodiment of philosophy. You don't want to see a physical
form of it. Yes.
Now I know so many women who are mad about Howard Rock. Howard Rock, you know, they think is ideal man, where man's who just lives for honesty, integrity, and and rock solid, absolutely. And he seems like absolutely emotionless person, but he creates more emotion than anyone else.
That's you.
Me? No.
From a lot of people's perspective.
Rock.
Ayn Rand ని మీరు కలవదలుచుకోలేదు, కలిసినా చెప్పేదే ఉండదు, కొంచెం చిన్నపిల్లల కింద కూర్చుని sit in front.
My mouth and sit in front of her and watch her eyes. I probably won't even listen to what she's saying because I know everything what she can say. I just want to see her eyes. They're the most piercing, intense and intelligence-filled eyes I've ever seen in my life.
Wishing that gets fulfilled in some reality, in a dream or
I die. When I die, and hopefully maybe I'll take Christianity and I die in case she's in some.
So that మీరు ఆవిడన్న చోటికి హెవెన్కి వెళ్తా, ఆవిడ హెవెన్కే వెళ్ళి ఉంటారు కదా.
I'm sure. I don't think she would come to a single sin in her life. I'm sure about that.
Why?
Because she lived like that. She lived like that. I know, I for sure know I won't go to heaven. I'll go to hell because I know all the papal I did, And in the same breath, Ayn Rand didn't do a single papam.
భక్తిని చూసి స్పెషల్ పర్మిషన్ ఇచ్చి మీకు హెవెన్ పర్మిషన్ ఇస్తారులేండి, పర్లేదు. బట్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ కాదు, యూ యాక్చువల్లీ ప్రాబబ్లీ ఆవిడ పైనుంచి సంతోషించేది ఏంటంటే నన్ను అర్థం చేసుకునే వ్యక్తి ఒక్కడున్నాడని మిమ్మల్ని చూసి.
I definitely think I do. I wouldn't say నేను ఒక్కడనే, but I'm saying I'm definitely one of the very few people who totally understand.
No, there's a difference. People understand her philosophy, probably to as much extent as you do. But I think there's a difference in how you have grasped her totally as a person, which I haven't met, so I can't speak for the others, but it seems like you're one of the very few that would have totally absorbed her as a person.
Yeah, because see, everyone will be like invisible. There could be 100 in Hyderabad for all I know, or no, but in the known people who can talk about her, like for example, I even studied disciples. There are a lot of people who were in the objectivist movement, like Alan Greenspan and Leonard Peikoff and all this. I believe I understand her much more than them, definitely. Yeah.
సో మీ ద్వారా ఇవాళ రామోయిజం ప్రేక్షకులకు కూడా ఆవిడ గురించి కొంచెం ఆవిడ జీవితం గురించి చాలా విషయాలు తెలిసాయి. వర్మ గారు ధన్యవాదాలు. ఈరోజు ఐన్ ర్యాండ్ గురించి, ఐన్ ర్యాండ్ని ఆవిష్కరించి చూపించారు.
Yes.
And we look forward to hearing you speak about the other idols and the other influences that you've had in your life in some of the episodes to come. సత్యేంద్ర అందరూ అడుగుతున్నారు, ఐన్ ర్యాండ్ కూడా రామోయిజం ప్రేక్షకులు స్పెషల్గా అడిగారు కాబట్టి థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ స్పీకింగ్ అబౌట్ దిస్ టుడే. అలాగే there are other people will request you to speak about in the episodes to come.
Yes. Thank you.
ఇది ఇవాల్టి రామోయిజం రీలోడెడ్. వచ్చే ఎపిసోడ్ రామోయిజం రీలోడెడ్లో మళ్ళీ కలుద్దాం. అంతవరకు స్టే ట్యూన్ టు TVNXT.
మా వీడియోస్ కనుక మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే లైక్, షేర్ అండ్ డోంట్ ఫర్గెట్ టు సబ్స్క్రైబ్.
For more updates, like, comment, subscribe to our channel. Hey darlings, గంటని click చేయడం మర్చిపోకండి.